Hi, I'm Carolin, and today I'm going to talk about our study on memory and decision-making in a simulated crime scene. In our research, we're interested in how virtual reality could help the jury better understand how a criminal event unfolded. In VR, it's possible to perceive the environment with a sense of space and depth, and we propose that VR can facilitate understanding of these complex environments and the overall event by engaging with the information presented. Trial proceedings can be a challenge for the jury. Evidence presentation may lack a chronological and logical order, and as a consequence, jurors face a large amount of complex information that is presented in a disconnected manner. They then have to piece together this information as a sequence of events they can agree on. This in turn can increase the time necessary to reach a verdict. Also, visual evidence is traditionally presented through diagrams, photographs, or videos. However, serious crimes, such as homicides, require in-depth information about the spatial relationships and dimensions. In South Australia, the sense of space and depth is considered so important that the jury can be sent to the scene of the crime. For example, in 2017, the jury of a violent assault case was sent to the crime scene in a remote area 1 year after it happened. The picture on the left shows the scene on the day of the attack, and on the right is the scene at the time of the jury visit. Naturally, the conditions of the environment are different now, and all evidence has been removed. As each juror inspects the scene, they have to piece together the environment with the information they had heard or were about to hear in court. In addition, these viewings come at a significant cost to the court. Today, the means to create highly realistic and detailed three-dimensional copies of a scene already exist, which overcome some of the disadvantages with the current tools used in court. Extensive reconstruction of environments could be observed in the investigation of the Sydney Lindcafe siege in 2014 and the Stockholm truck attack in 2017. We wondered if VR could further support these reconstructions by allowing the juror to contextualize the scene with the information they heard in court and with a sense of space and depth. To better understand how VR could support a sense-making process, we asked two primary questions. Does VR help improve recall of the environment and the narrative? And does the information presented help participants to arrive at the same decision? So we designed an experiment that sought the answers to these questions. In the experiment, we simulated a hit-and-run scenario. This was developed with the help of forensic scientists and law professionals as a realistic use case. Participants were provided two narratives, one from the defense attorney and one from the prosecution, before they inspected the scene either in VR or as pictures on a screen. We then measured how well they remembered the narratives, the environment, and recorded their verdict decision. In VR, it was possible to move around freely and inspect elements in the scene. The orange markers represented evidence items that could be interacted with and showed photographs of the items found in the scene. An important element in the VR condition, which was unique to VR, was the ability to take the seat of the driver and inspect if he could have seen what he said he saw. In the other condition, participants viewed a slideshow with photographs of the scene, which were complemented with images of the reconstruction, which included the car. There were some interesting outcomes from the experiment. VR supported the memorization of the environment and partially of the narrative. Verdict decisions were more consistent in VR, and VR also required a lower mental effort and was perceived as easier to use. So these are just the first steps on the evaluation of VR for the courtroom. But we received some promising results that suggest VR could support court proceedings by leveraging the ability of VR to tell a story and complement the natural way of how individuals make sense of information. VR could have the potential to be a more reliable option for crime scene viewing compared to traditional methods. The ability to view an environment true to how it really was at the time it was captured and explore it from all angles and being able to perceive depth is a powerful tool that could provide jury members with an improved sense of the scene in a crime. Overall, the better the scene and the event is understood by the jury, the more likely it is to have an improved outcome in court with the right answers obtained. Thank you, and I look forward to your questions.